What's going on, people? We are GrownAGeeks. We thank you for joining us tonight. We are going to be talking some anime. It's been a while since we've had an anime show, and we are a little behind on anime. So tonight's show is going to be an anime catch-up. Talk about some of the series we've been watching, where we're current on, what we're not current on, what we need to watch, and what we think you should be watching. Feel free to click that QR code right there by RG. Join us and make sure to leave your comments down below. We ask that you like and subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. But let's get right into it. Joining me, my man RG Cashmere, the 36 Hokage. How you doing, man?
Shit, another beautiful day in the neighborhood. You know how it is.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And join the special guest on the anime show. Has already told us he doesn't have a lot to say, but we always appreciate his artistic input, his creative mind. Jeffery JPNT17. What's going on, Jeff?
What's up, guys? I'm not an animator, but
we're gonna get you involved. We'll get you involved.
See,
you're an artist. You're an artist.
Right. And that's why you're here, because you could be an anime person. And I truly believe, like with anything, it's just about finding the one that you like. And it's not to say that everyone is going to be the one. You know what I'm saying? I watch anime all the time. I'm 1-2 episodes. Nope. And we go on to something else. And then other times I find that I'm like, I watched something just the other day and I just sat there and watched all 8 episodes. Like I just kept going next episode. It's an interesting little show, and let's just start with that. So we're going to recap a few of the things that we've been watching, and I have been watching Kaiju No. 8, and I managed to get through pretty much all of the current season in a day, because you watch an episode, it's good, something happens, and you got to know how it's going to end, and there's another episode, so we got to go to that. And then the next episode, you got to go to that. Especially any anime where there's fighting. If the battle doesn't end in that episode, I just pray that there's another episode. So I've gotten to the point now, like, because there's so much good anime, got to let a couple of episodes build up, and then you can sit and binge it, because it's going to get bad when we get back to having, Jujutsu Kaisen comes back, and when Chainsaw Man comes back, when some of these other big shows come back, we have to go week to week. Oh, that's just so stressful, because I already have all these other things I'm watching week to week. It's nice to have something to just sit and binge. And I got a chance recently with Kaiju No. 8. We're in season 2 now. And how many episodes are there in season 2? They're up to episode 18.
7 episodes.
So
7 episodes for the season so far.
Yeah,
seems to be the magic number for
it does.
Season 2,
it does,
right? For the next,
but
seasons.
What's really interesting is I feel like there's really only 6, because that first episode, Hoshina's day off.
Yeah, we got some filler.
That was the first time I got what I felt was truly a filler episode. But it was interesting.
You got the beach episode. It's the beach episode.
Pretty much. Like the hot springs. You got to have either the hot springs episode or the beach episode. And this was the let's get everybody involved somehow, but let's not do anything. Just a little exposition to, help us identify the characters a little bit better. Maybe become a little bit more familiar with them, what their motivations are and who they are as people. Because the vice captain came in and dude was like, season 1, he was that guy. Guy. Came in, took out Kaiju No. 9, and the fight he had was probably one of the best fights I've seen in the show. And now to see him like in this other light is, with the children's hospital and stuff.
They had him season 1. He was a super stoic character, kind of secretive, very mysterious. And then the next thing we got, the fight scene toward the end of the season where he absolutely killed it. You know what I'm saying? So, this was a good first episode for him to kind of like, let's, make him more of a person. Let's explore him outside of, his day job.
And clearly that was what they did. And see, it's like if they've done that for him, then now I expect they have to do that for all the main characters. Like now he's vice captain, so I need the main captain. I need to see her story. I need her to have a day of training or something, or you know what I'm saying? And as we're getting into this second season, we have this other vice captain. Actually, no, I think he is the captain of what is it? First squad?
First division. Yeah, first
division. Like, I got to get a little bit more on him because they gave enough. Like, he doesn't take anything serious. He's sitting here playing video games and whatnot. But when it's time to lock in, he locks all the way in.
Oh, yeah, he's a badass.
And so if he's right there as this captain, you know, we got to see a battle of the captains at some point. We got to see the captains have their little face off because we can already see that everybody in first division is on par to be a captain. In fact, he even says that at some point. Right. He's like, everybody in first division could be a captain anywhere else. And so when we come over here with Kafka's best friend, she's the captain over here on third division. We got to see how they stack up because they've really painted him in this new light to be our next main person. And so I'm definitely curious to see how that's going to show the two characters together.
I think they did a pretty good job, though, with the first division characters. They've gotten moments to shine. Like, the captain has definitely had his moments to shine. You know, I think, so we watched a lot of growth in that first season with Kafka and the third division, you know, where his friend is at. So you really got to kind of like develop an attachment for all the characters, all the other soldiers, you know, because you watched him go, you know, from the cleanup squad to, you know, his whole origin story, him, you know, getting the kaiju and everything. So while we watched the first season, because the third division is badass as fuck. Like we can't sit up here. We obviously that, you know, we already talked about the vice captain and how incredible he was. And then we know that his friend, you know, the captain, she's super fucking powerful too. Yeah. So now the stakes have risen in season 2 because of Kaiju number 9, right? So
yeah,
right. Kaiju number 9 has evolved. He's stronger now. He's definitely more of a threat than he was against the third division in the first season. So now we really get to watch them. We get to watch a different team overcome this problem. But, you know, they overcame it. So even though, you know, it can be right, it can be argued, right?
Like, did they?
Yeah. So
I mean, survival is not a victory, but it's not a loss.
That is true.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, because Shinomiya, having Isawa Shinomiya on the battlefield in the context that he was, had he gone out like a G and that had been it, we would have had closure and it would have been okay.
Right.
Kaiju number 9 doing what he did, that's still up in the air now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a little bit of a tarnishment to the legacy that he was obviously trying to leave. You know, essentially he was going to leave it all on the battlefield and didn't get to do that. And the fact that that was stolen from him is, I think, foreshadowing. And of course, this is me with my predictions because, you know, I see patterns and trends. I'm curious what's going to happen with young Miss Shinomiya because she's lost mom, she's lost dad. It just feels like it's a family legacy for her to go in battle as well. It could be seasons away. It could be towards the end of the season. But at some point, it's going to come down to her sacrificing herself for the good of the team, good of the mission, just like her parents have done. And I think that's going to be the legacy of that family.
All right there, Mr. Richards. I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha. Yeah. That is that. It might happen. That is down the road. That is far down the road. Because the only reason I say that is just because, you know, we got to get a story arc where she gets a kaiju weapon, right? So we're gonna have to go through that. She's got to get a kaiju weapon. The only way she's gonna be a factor in this story after we hear about number 9, right? Like after we're seeing number 9 evolve, and with the knowledge that number 9 can create high-level kaiju.
Right.
Right. So, she's if this is in the cards, she's got to step, like,
Well,
sweetheart, you're strong, but you're gonna have you.
And see, that's the thing. They're already setting that arc because, of course, it's just. I mean, it's the tropiest of trope when it comes to anime. I have to be stronger. I have to be stronger.
Right.
I have to be strong enough to protect the thing that I love. I have to be strong enough to protect the people I care about, et cetera, et cetera. It is the tropiest trope of all tropes in anime is I have to be strong. And she's already made that declaration. She's already carrying the weight of her father's death on her shoulders, took it upon herself. And the first thing she said to the person who has now shown himself to be currently the strongest person in the series, she tells her captain, I want to be stronger. He's like, okay, cool. I got you.
True.
So we already know that she's on her strengthening arc. That's going to be her character arc. I'm just saying early on, it feels like with mama going the way she did and with daddy going the way he did, I would be upset almost if she doesn't get to fulfill that same family legacy. It has to be in service and it has to be for the good of others.
Dude, they're gonna hit out. I hope you get what you want, but they're gonna hit her with the you need to live for them. So
no one like she's the only person who has the value as a side character where it would have any weight. Because if you take some of the other people that are in the third division team, right? Mm-hmm. We have what's the guy that's training now to
who got the kaiju weapon? Gotcha.
Too big a character.
Right. I can't pronounce his name. It's like Reno or something like that. Ichikawa.
Right. I feel like he's too big of a character to kill him off.
Now he's season 3.
You see what I'm saying? And right. Given that he's getting the weapon that I misspoke earlier when I said fighting kaiju number 9. He fought Hinowa fought kaiju number 10. And so they're making the weapon from 10. And with them setting up, like, he's about to get a new weapon. Like, Hinowa's about to get a new weapon because 10 is now volunteered, like, asking, like, make me a weapon.
But he's getting the weapon from number 6.
Correct. And so you've got Reno's about to get it. So we've got 2 new weapons that are about to be out here.
Right.
If 9 is out here making kaiju, we're going to see more kaiju. And that still leaves the question of where kaiju's 1, 2, 4, and 5.
No, those were destroyed.
7. Those are
probably. I mean, I assume.
Well, okay, so I would have to go back and pull it up. But the Isuwa Shinomura, he had, what weapon does he use? His gauntlets. Which number was that?
Was it 2 or 1? Because that was 2 or 1. It was the one that 2. Yeah. The one
he got the one that killed his wife. The one that took his wife out. He has that weapon because they have the main one, the king of all the king of all kaiju, right? The one that basically looks like Godzilla.
Don't worry, Jeff. I got some involvement for you in a minute.
we have the kaiju that looks like Godzilla. That was the one that killed the mother.
Right.
Then we have.
But I don't know if that's the one he got. He got the one. Sorry, who got the one that could predict the moves? That was the captain of First Division.
Correct.
The one that could predict the moves. That's number 2. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
And so the point being that, like, all of the kaiju, they've obviously been, tampering as they should. Like, instead of these things just being destroyed, they're now collecting them so that they can make weapons from the kaiju.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so we're going to start, either we're going to see more kaiju being produced so that more weapons can be produced.
True.
Kafka is a weapon in and of himself as he's number 8. But then you have like, we still got to see 7. There's enough characters that all of the main people can get a weapon. So I definitely think that, young Miss Shinomura, she's going to end up getting a weapon as well. I agree with that. I do think that is part of her arc because she has to prove herself worthy of having a weapon. But we already see that using the weapon requires a lot from the user because it does take a toll on their body.
Yes.
And eventually, I mean, Kafka's already going the wrong way as far as using his kaiju powers. We saw what happened to Isawa using the kaiju powers. We see the struggle Reno's having trying to adapt to even be able to use the kaiju powers. So it's going to take a toll.
Yes.
You may have just explained how she's going to sacrifice herself. There it is. She gets her kaiju weapon. Her kaiju weapon is going to be what does her in. She's going to have to turn up, max out, and that's what's going to be required to save the team. And she may even sacrifice herself for Kafka in the end.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
That's good. That's good insight, Jeff.
But you know what, Mike? Go ahead.
All in all, I've thoroughly enjoyed watching Kaiju number 8. Initially, first couple episodes, season 1, I was like, "What is this? Who's got me watching this?" And I think I locked in very easily when old boy was in the hospital and that Kaiju hopped in. Immediately, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, we're good." And it's been nonstop since then. It had. Like I said, that's why I think Hoshina's Day Off was the one that threw me off, because that was the first episode where it wasn't something intense.
Right.
Because every episode, even if there's not a lot of fighting, there's still something intense. Maybe it's the conversations that are being had. There it always feels like there's a looming threat in the episode.
Yeah.
And Hoshina's Day Off, there was no looming threat. So that kind of threw me off, and I wasn't ready for that. Wasn't expecting that filler.
It went back. They had to give you a little one. At least they're giving more episodes than, a typical. Like, I know there's more to come past this, past this 7 that they've got. So, and I'm not going to have to wait like 2 years for 5 more episodes. So I know it's coming. Yeah. So it's like, they're giving us better seasons now. Like, a lot of the animes right now are definitely going into the 15, 16 episode seasons, So yeah, I can wait. I can let this one develop, because I know, like you said, the stakes there's always some kind of stakes almost every episode. So
yeah, and this is definitely one that feels like anybody can get it at any time.
It is. Well, we watched the daddy die. I did not expect that early.
Did not see that coming.
No. Not at all.
And
spoilers, bitches.
So it was like, wow. That was a lot right there. But it does a good job of keeping the stakes high. And like you said, even though it wasn't a win, it definitely wasn't a victory. The fact that they're able to fight another day gives them time to regroup, a successful retreat. Because they really just weren't getting it done with number 9. And I can't wait to see what else he's going to pull out and what else he's going to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's had more time being a kaiju, so Kafka's got to practice and get past all that doubt and worry about wilding out and killing your people.
I mean, but he's at the point now where it's saying if he changes again, that could be it.
Yeah, I like the way they introduced that into the story now, so that'll be real good.
Curious to see how that plays out.
Oh yes. So can I ask Jeff a question? Something? Can we devote 1 minute and 40 seconds to showing something?
Certainly.
I am interested. So, Jeff, I think that this intro is one of the best intros in an anime. Almost I'm gonna rank it up there as like, a sci-fi TV show. It is a very, very non-cartoony intro. And so I would like to share this intro and get your opinion on how do you feel.
Just let the intro play and it would be okay, because the opening soundtrack, it gets you pumped up.
I'm gonna be real with you, as a anime outsider who dabbles in certain things here and there. The intro songs do be like affecting whether or not I want to watch the show sometimes, and it's like when I think about some of the anime that I have watched that I enjoyed, like Super Crooks. Like that intro song is like up my alley. Like I downloaded that to my iTunes.
Yeah,
but some of the Like even like like I've watched like a fair amount, not a ton, but like a fair amount of like My Hero Academia. And as a binger, like I'm skipping that intro. And I know for like
I understand.
purist anime fans, they're like, I know they're like, what? But it's just like not my type of, not even my type of like rock music per se. So
Right.
it's like very upbeat. It's very, and I think like also sometimes I feel like it's like, does it give me the vibe of what I'm about to watch in the show? You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
Super Crooks feels like, okay, we about to watch like some cool criminals try to get away with some stuff. I get
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah.
Even like Dragon Ball Z, that's like, I get it. It's like kind of pumped up. At least the one that I watch. I know there's like a bunch of Dragon Balls, but I'm talking about the one that's like dragon, fight the
What's
dragon.
Dragon?
Yeah,
Dragon
yeah.
Ball
There
Z.
you go.
That's the one. That's
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that one
okay, I
was.
get that. Even like Sailor Moon, the sweet little like fighting evil by moonlight. I I'm okay. Now we're in the mood to watch some teenage girls like figure out their love lives and save the
Yeah.
universe. Like the My Hero song, I feel like Detsu is his name Detsu? I
Deku.
don't be know Deku. I don't be knowing the names neither. I feel like Deku is like way like kind of way more sad and emo and unsure of himself than like that song
Yeah.
Mm.
comes across. And so
Okay.
it's like sometimes like the mood of the song takes me out of the actual like show.
Mm. Mm.
And so I'm
Okay.
like, it can feel disjointed. The other thing, and I've said this before when we talked about anime, the other thing that really like is difficult for me is how, because I binge, the last like 3 minutes of a show sometimes is like the first 3 minutes of the next
Mm.
episode, and I'm like doubling
Okay.
up on watching stuff. But I know that that's like, I know a lot of the more like modern ones I think have kind of phased that storytelling out. But
Yeah.
I also am like, I like those animation styles, like the
Mm-hmm.
core, like kind of classic animation styles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I get stuck in this mode where it's like, I like how this one looks, but I don't want to watch everything twice. But then this one is cool, but then like I gotta skip the intro, otherwise like I'm gonna be completely like out of the mood of the show. So I think like I do be interested in some of the stuff you guys talk about, but I just not everything all the time.
Can't get past that intro. No,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah, we're
I
trying to
feel
get
that.
you past that. We're trying to get, yeah, that's why we're telling you about it, so you don't have to watch the intro.
And I think it's like, I feel like, this is one of the few like I think safe anime spaces in the world. Like I mean we're geeks, so we know how we can be, but I think sometimes the anime geeks be on another level with it in
Like
terms
if
of like,
if anime is your sole geekdom,
yeah,
if that is your only claim to a geek space, I
yeah,
can agree that there is a certain intensity that is
yeah.
very unforgiving.
And it's like, I'm
And
cool with you not letting me in your club. Like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And then, but then it's like that
Right.
also makes it like I was telling you guys about the Van Lathan thing where he kind of had like a back and forth with like a bunch of anime people on Twitter, and he's just like, I'm not gonna. And he wasn't even talking about anime; he was talking about a live action adaptation of One Piece, and he was just like,
Mm.
I'm not gonna watch it because he's never watched the original. As somebody, for me, I've never watched the original One Piece, and I'm not gonna watch
Right.
any show that has over 1,000 episodes because I'm
Yeah,
just
dude,
not
I
going
haven't
to.
watched One Piece either. So you're not alone.
but I
There's a
but I
lot of us
yeah,
anime
but I
people who haven't
enjoyed
watched One Piece.
the live action.
yeah,
Now, One Piece, Cowboy Bebop, Halo. We know I have a penchant for enjoying live action adaptations of things that the people who actually interacted with the original media don't necessarily feel like it's always the best representation of their favorite medium. So I kind of just mute up and just be like, look, if they make it into a live action show, I might mess with it. You know, even I know Dragon Ball Evolution was terrible. Like the fact, like I'll be real, when I saw a white man show up as Goku, I didn't even bother to watch it from that point moving forward, because it's just like, how respectful could this possibly be of the original? You know, I mean, I know, you know, Avatar Last Airbender is not anime, but we've talked about how M. Night Shyamalan is on site for him from now until forever based off of his handling of that. So I think one thing is, I think it's like, what I am learning though, there is like so much more anime than just like the core ones. And I am starting to accept that not watching the core ones is okay. Like yeah, Super Crooks is one of my favorite anime, and I never really hear anybody talking about that in like the big anime discussions. So I don't know if that's one that'll get you like laughed out the room if you try to bring it up in the anime talk, but I liked it, so that's all that matters. And yeah,
there you go.
Well, I think the reason you don't hear about something like Super Crooks, it has less to do with whether or not it's anime. I think it comes more from, one, access and accessibility, because there are some people who immediately kind of shy away from anime that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Just because it's on Netflix, they already kind of feel like it's not real anime.
Yeah.
If you can't watch it on Crunchyroll and Netflix, you take something like Dan to Dan, which is on Crunchyroll, but it's also on Netflix. Hulu gets a little bit of respect because they're smart enough to at least carry some of the big titles.
Yeah, so that's why I watched My Hero.
You know, and so like they did well to get in kind of early and establish themselves as a home for anime. But like some of the stuff that's on Amazon Prime, it's good anime. Like anywhere you find good anime, that's what it is. It's good anime. You know, you take Blue Eyed Samurai. That was a fantastic series, but again, not something you hear a lot of people talk about, because it's almost like not as many people saw that, because those people who are strictly anime geeks, they're probably not on Netflix because they're not watching all of the other movies. They're not watching all of this other stuff. And it's going to be more of the more versatile people who dib and dab here and there, like us, where we're catching this movie, that TV show. We're talking about this book. We're talking, you know what I'm saying? Like we're hitting all facets. And so we're open to accept anything geek and anime. I mean, of course, Super Crooks, it sold me on 2 words. Mark Millar. That was enough for me. And I was like all in right there, because I think he's one of the best storytellers out there. And some of the things he conceptualizes and has turned into stories, they're fantastic. Old Man Logan, Civil War, Wanted, like all of those are his stories. Super Crooks, that's Millar world, you know? And so something like Super Crooks, while it may not be the focus of the conversation, there's definitely a place for it in the anime community and in the anime conversation.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the community, I find the community in person is very different than the community online. I feel like the online community, you know, they feel incredibly empowered. They're rude, all types of things. So, but I feel like when you go to a con or something like that, you're interacting with people who are, you know, probably, I've met a lot of people that are way more into anime than I am. They watch the slice of life stuff. They know all the Ghibli movies, you know, things like that. So I can respect that if that is your thing, then that's your thing, you know. But understand that if there's other anime being displayed on other mediums, then you have to you're not going to knock me for it. And I find that most of the time they don't. Like they only really talk, if shit's being talked, it's only being talked on the internet because you can't get punched in the mouth.
Facts.
So, you know, like
a lot of geekdom in general.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
to me. That's the thing. I'm not going to pay attention to, or not pay attention, but I hear what they say and I get their opinions about shit. But you not wanting something or not liking something or not liking an aspect of something that I like, or attempting to even invalidate something that I like because it's not from your original realm or from wherever you think it's supposed to be. That's not going to fly with me, because it still meets the criteria. It's still anime. This is still anime. The fact that it's not on the channel or from where you watch it has no bearing on whether or not it's still what we're discussing here. So to me,
because like for me, the thing I like about anime that's going to get me on board is, and honestly, the criteria is not very different from anime to just regular cartoons or animation. Is the art style, the character design, and the action. Like how it's animated, as long as that ain't, some weird thing, and as long as it don't take too long to get to it. That's how the concept of Dragon Ball is so fascinating to me, and I've seen a lot of just like random episodes here and there, but it's too much talking, bro. It's like being in the lunchroom and it's just like, are y'all gonna fight or not? And like, I mean, I mentioned this before too. Like my first experience with Dragon Ball was not on Toonami. It was like UPN in Atlanta. The UPN affiliate in Atlanta would show Dragon Ball on Saturday morning.
Oh wow!
So it took me 2 months to see a punch thrown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at that, I'm like,
yeah, that's real,
fuck, man. I was like y'all ain't about y'all. And my friends who had seen it before, because they had older brothers, and like I had a friend who like his parents like lived in Japan for a while, so they had like videos that he had seen and stuff. He's like, nah, bro, trust me. Like when they get, I'm like, bro, I was like, bro, they got one more week, and then when they did finally start fighting, here come Gohan. I can't see what's going on. It's like, okay, Gohan can't see. Why can I not see? Like, animate this. I mean, swing. I'm like, bruh, but then once they get to the getting, it really is amazing. And I mean, I think there's like things in each client of classic anime that I've tried to watch that begins to irk me because it happens so much. Like Deku, like not being able to physically handle the All Might power, and like him just like his bones turning into spaghetti every episode. It's kind of like
Mr. Glass.
Oh my god! Like, why do we give this kid these powers then? Like, what? Because I want it, but I understand that factors into the storytelling, because he has to like think and be strategic about when he uses it, when he does it, and this and that. But it's like it's a lot of yelling for you to like be channeling this energy into your pinky, and I like cool concept, but maybe just like at a certain point, I'm more interested in like a lot of the other characters. Like, show me motorcycle engine calf guy. Show me some more of him, and show me Dark Shadow Bird Man. And
this sounds like when you ask your grandma to name the character. What do you think this character's name is?
Calf guy.
You know what? It's so accurate though. I know exactly who you're talking about. Dark Shadow Birdman. That is his new name.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that is his new name. That's I'm only gonna
Fire and Ice Boy. Let's see some more of him.
Icy
he's going through it. Yeah,
I will say I did like him being Icy Hot.
If it's any of these guys, this is
yeah.
That's how much I like My Hero Academia.
But to me, like the concept of like teenagers learning how to use their powers. I mean, it's essentially X-Men, which I love. I love teen content, like as weird as that might sound as like a 40-year-old man. I like teen stuff.
It's the coming of
I don't
age
like teen. I don't
aspect.
like teenagers. I like coming of age teen movies and shows, but not necessarily.
I like watching them. I like watching other people's kids go through their bullshit.
Yeah, no drizzy.
Right. No, I mean, and honestly, every time we've discussed it, there's always a coming of age story and watching that growth point. And I think right now, whether you know it or not, I think it's actually kind of appropriate. You've got a young child who will be in that range sooner than later, and now's the perfect time for you to study up for it. It makes perfect sense.
We started them on Pokemon because that's when I grew up. I watched Pokemon like religiously, like in high school, but like that's one where it feel like Pokemon. All right, go back to the sandbox. The grown people are talking.
Well, what's interesting is to that point, there's a show that, okay, so I was talking about, like, I've been playing catch up on a lot of anime, and one that I watched recently to get caught up on was Spy Family. And I need somebody to tell me officially, Spy X Family or just Spy Family? Because nobody, like, do you say Hunter X Hunter or just Hunter Hunter?
See,
I say right.
See, I say Hunter Hunter, right?
But do you say Spy X Family or do you just say Spy Family?
Holy shit, man.
I think the X is like a tool to represent. I think the X is just a tool to represent like space / separation in the words, like a graphic thing. Like that's like a graphic design thing, especially like when you're in a country that does not speak English and they're making graphics using like English letters. Like you'll see that. I think that's just like a spacing thing for them.
That would explain it, because there's a lot of times where it's like
there's a lot of
random
blank X blank. I'm like, yo,
like why is there an X in this?
Right.
No. Okay.
So in watching Spy Family, there are 3 central characters. You have Lloyd, the dad. You have you're the mom character, and then you have the daughter character, Anya. And it's a found family situation where these 3 people, through the course of the story, they end up together as a household: the mom, the dad, the child. And Lloyd is a spy. His job is to keep the world safe, and he is like 00 type spy. Like anybody can get it at any point. If Lloyd needs to take you out, you're out. Yor is an assassin, and she's the Thorn Princess. She's a part of a team called the Garden, and it's just a group of assassins, and they do their thing. Lloyd does not know that she's an assassin. She does not know that he's a spy. The kid was adopted to be part of the cover story for Lloyd in his spy mission. He has to present himself as a family man. So he hires a woman to portray his wife. They get married so that everything looks right. And he adopted a kid. Anya, she actually has telepathy. She can read minds. And so it makes for a very interesting dynamic, because nobody knows anyone else's secrets. And Anya doesn't want to tell anybody. Like, she doesn't let on that she can read minds. So she makes decisions based on being able to read the dad's mind or being able to read the mom's mind. But she now has parents and has been adopted, no longer living in the orphanage. So she's happy, doesn't want that to go away. So she covers for mom when mom has to do assassin stuff. She covers for dad when dad has to do spy stuff. I forget sometimes, because of the wholesomeness in certain parts, that Yor is an assassin. I was watching last night. I get like 2 episodes of Anya in school, and then the next episode, Yor is like murdering people. And it is like intense. And I forget that I'm like, oh yeah.
I started on it, but I never got to finish it.
This is an intense show. And it's like, wow. She be doing work with them sewing needles, and she has like the 2 big knitting needles with the handles up. Oof. And I just forget sometimes, because you have these wholesome moments with this child in school, trying to, do the best she can because she feels like being in this school will help her. Well, being in this school and doing well will actually help her father with his mission. And so you get to see her be a kid and do kid stuff and act like a kid. And then she's helping dad like take out these other evil spies. And you forget for a moment that this is, I mean, it might as well be TVMA. I'm sure it's like TV 16 plus, but you just forget because you have this wholesome moment and then it gets real right over here. And Spy Family it is a fantastic show because I feel like it gives you a little bit of everything. It gives you a little bit of slice of life. It gives you the action side. It gives you the spy side. And you get to see just like some humorous activities whenever you have, the stuff that involves Anya. So it's a great show overall. And RJ, I would say if you haven't, go back, check that one out.
I definitely need to. I think I've only got like 3 episodes in and then can't tell you what distracted me. But it's a good binge because there's a couple of seasons.
Yeah. There's a good bit that you can catch up on. I want to say that's one of the shows that has like 20 episode seasons.
Season 1 says 25, so I'm already in.
And I will say if you only got to like episode 3, it hasn't started yet.
Well, it's good already. My daughter recommended it to me actually when it first came out.
Okay.
So I really don't know why I have not watched this.
There's so much anime out there, man. There's so much stuff. Like you can't even, honestly, you really can't even lock in on everything. Because there was a show you were just telling me about, and it's got like a ton of episodes.
Oh, To Be Hero X.
So tell me about To Be Hero X. What is this show?
Yes. So To Be Hero X. Now, here's the thing. The art style, it's very artsy. Art style changes. It goes from a lot of old school artwork to 3D to stencils. It's all over the place, and it's actually when the fight scenes, it makes the fight scenes very unique, very beautiful. But the whole premise of the show is that it's this universe where people can become heroes just by having people believe that they could. So there's this power called trust. And the more people like become popular, like if somebody sees you do something nice or heroic and all of a sudden they're talking about you, your wrist will light up. You'll start to develop powers. And the more people that believe in you, the more powerful a hero you become. And so they randomly have situations where there's 2 or 3 heroes that are really, really popular, and then they have to have tournament battles to fight it out. It's a pretty good show, but it is highly stylized. I will say that the fight scenes are highly stylized. But
now, is this a single series or is this like a collection of stories? Because you mentioned the different anime styles.
Yeah, so the reality is, so there is a main art style for the normal story as the story. For whenever there's an episode in the, whatever that episode happens to be about, the main plot point will always be in the same art style. So it doesn't change up every episode. It basically just changes up during the fights. But it almost seems like an anthology show in that what you'll have is maybe about 3 or 4 episodes about one particular character, and then another 3 to 4 episodes about another particular character, but you can still tell that they're all involved in the same world. It's very crashish, and it takes a very long time before like all of it actually starts coming together. But there's 20 something episodes of the show. So
I'm looking at that now, and it shows there's 21 episodes currently. And just the fact that there's 21 episodes, cool. I got a weekend watch.
Yeah. And they did a really good job with, for one, I'm just happy that there's 20 something fucking episodes. Like, it's not 7, it's not 8, it's not, it's freaking double digits and a good size double digit. And the thing about it is that show is nowhere near close to a real finale or season ender. So we're probably going to get about 30 something episodes out of this first season, because they've set up a really, really, really strong climax, and they're still kind of setting it up right now. So the writing is pretty good. It's not nothing incredibly groundbreaking. There's a lot of times where there does appear to be like some random plot holes and some situations that characters get into that it just kind of doesn't make sense, and it's like the stars have to align. Everything has to be, there's a lot of luck. And then but there's also a lot of these, shadow characters. These, everything's kind of being pulled by invisible strings and invisible and puppeteers. So you kind of want to see the dynamic between the heroes and the company. There's generally like a company that supports the heroes, so they have a place to live, and they all live in like a tower. So because it's
like
about
Bought Industries,
almost very, very similar.
Okay.
Because the whole idea is you want to popularize your hero, so they have basically a marketing machine behind heroes and things like that. But great show, man. It's a great show. The fight scenes are absolutely stunning. There's a very diverse array of powers in the characters. So there's like an assassin character who's super good with knives. There's a girl who uses sound.
So the powers you get, are the powers you get like just random?
So they're somewhat based off of what it appears to be is maybe some like a traumatic or some sort of very powerful experience that you've had. And then when your powers manifest, it's almost like your mindset, right? So
it's not the random mutant generator, but it's not formulated like My Hero, where your father had ice powers, your mother had ice powers. You're probably going to have ice powers.
Correct. It is not like that.
It's more about your individual self. Now that's interesting in that your popularity dictates whether or not you become a hero, because then it seems like you start off with just the popular people being the heroes. You take a Kai Cenat, you take a I Show Speed, like immediately they're heroes just because they're popular. And
in this universe, they would be.
And then they would have their own following just as a result. Boom, they're a hero. But then it makes me wonder, like, when you have the people like, you take your actual heroes, like your Supermans, your Batmans, your Iron Mans, you know what I'm saying? Like, would they remain heroes based on because a lot of people are not Superman fans. A lot of people don't like Superman. So would he still be like a top hero, given that so many people don't care for him?
Are you saying in this universe there would just be naturally superpowered people?
Well, no, I think like anybody I have to watch the show to formulate more of an idea, but just as a concept, if your popularity, like you have the little wrist reader, and as your popularity increases and people believe in you and trust in you, so you have to do good and show that you are someone worthy of being a hero. Obviously, you take some of these stage situations where someone who's already very popular saves a life, and boom, they now would be a hero and they have all these powers.
Yes.
Those people who have already like proven themselves may not be as
like, if you become less popular, do you lose your powers?
Yes, you do.
Kingdom Come.
So it's like Hunger Games.
Okay, that works too. I was thinking Kingdom Come, where Magog suddenly he kills the Joker. He's super popular. Nobody believes in Superman, and he would then be depowered because nobody believes in him anymore.
Correct. And that is a major plot point of the show.
So
right?
just looking at the thumbnails of the first couple of episodes, I already see who our main hero who's falling is going to be. that seems interesting. So yeah, you've got my attention with that. I'll definitely be checking that out. The next time we come back, we'll be able to do a full review on To Be Hero X because I'm going to check that out. Jeff, you should watch it too. Just because hopefully the intro song is good and it gets you in the right mindset.
The intro song is bumping, dude. It's like this jump into the night. Girl, it's in English. It's in English.
Yeah, I was looking at, I think it's Imagine Dragons or something like that.
Oh, see, if it's
it sounds like
not that I'm an Imagine Dragons fan, but I think it will just be more accessible to me than like
No, that's real because Imagine Dragons, I give them credit. They killed it on Arcane.
Yeah.
The intro for Arcane.
That's what the anime sound. That's what the anime songs be sounding like.
That is what they sound like, though.
No disrespect.
And if you don't know the words, it's only more confusing.
My laughter is not endorsed.
Now, another show that I watched recently, and I want to get you to watch it. It is a very simple watch for you, I'm sure, because there were only like 7 episodes. Mm-hmm. I do feel like there are more episodes coming, but right now there's only 7. And I sat down to watch the first one just to see what it was because they did a good job of like advertising it to me because every time I pull up Crunchyroll, it was like one of the first 1 or 2 cards for a moment. I was like, you know what is this? I cannot even try to pronounce the name. Gachiakuta, I guess, is what we're going to go with. Gachiakuta.
Gachiakuta?
No, I think it is, in fact, Gachiakuta. Gachiakuta.
K-U-T-A.
You know what? I'm going to post it as a comment. And
Gachiakuta.
When, you know what? It's not going to let me do it because we're not live. But it is, we'll go with Gachiakuta. Gachiakuta is a story of the haves and the have-nots. The haves live in a floating city. And what happens when you live in a floating city? You have to throw your trash somewhere. You throw your trash down to the people on the ground. One of the punishments in this floating city is to be thrown into the pit. The pit is where the trash goes. So when they get rid of their criminals, they throw them in the trash. They throw them in the pit. It just so happens that our main character, Rudo, gets thrown into the pit, but he doesn't die. He survives. And he comes to find out that not only is there more to the pit than the people in the floating city know, apparently he's going to be a big part of whatever that is. There's only 7 episodes so far, and I watched all 7, so I don't know exactly. I don't have enough to try to predict anything, so I can't wait to get 7 more episodes and see if the little feelers that are already going out of my brain lead somewhere. But there are amazing powers and skill sets, unique fighting styles, because there's a special ability that only a select few people have, and that ability manifests differently in every person who has that ability. So while it's not like, oh, my hero power is this, my hero power is that, everybody has the same hero power, but the way their power manifests is different. You have to see it for that to make sense. But I think you're going to like it. And the first, it's only like the first 1 or 2 episodes that are in the Cloud City, and the rest of the story takes place on the ground. So you kind of get right into it. And it's really good. In fact, I would say by the end of the first episode, I think he gets thrown into the pit. So they hit the ground running because it looks like the majority of the story is going to be
in the perspective from the pit.
Gotcha. Right. It's not about the city up there.
Gotcha.
Although that's the main story, but not the story we're following.
Understood. The artwork looks like it was done by the same people that did Hell's Paradise. Do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if it's the same, but it does absolutely look like that. In fact, I feel like the main character, Rudo, looks just like the main character from Hell's Paradise.
That's what caught my attention. When you called, I was like, ooh, and Hell's Paradise is fucking awesome. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna watch this anyway off of that description that you said. So I like the idea of the multiple people, how their powers manifest makes a difference. And I like that kind of whole Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
Kind of undertone where it's like there's this, utopian city in the sky, and then you have this.
Definitely gave some Elysium, and like the District 9, where you have like this really weird retro futuristic society. And again, like I said, the main story is clearly the haves and the have-nots, and even within that dynamic, people still can't get along. Everybody on the ground should be working together, and they still can't get along. And it's
arcane. This is the story of how they keep you down there, divide and conquer. Gotta rise up, my brothers.
Need to get y'all a Fred Hampton.
Studio Masquettes. Let me see. So, because now I want to know what studio this is. That's the manga, English publisher, original network, music magazine. See, and this is one of those shows that at some point I feel like I'm going to just have to get into manga. I've managed so far to get my fix watching anime. But I'm realizing that there is so much more manga that never makes it to anime.
Very true. Very true.
And let's see, Studio Bones. So we can take a quick peek and see what Studio Bones has put out. Well, they produced My Hero, Bungo Stray Dogs, Full Metal.
What, did they do Super Crooks? I think they might have done Super. Well, then you're going to have to watch this anime, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, they've done...
They popped up.
What's
like
the name
first
of it again?
thing.
I put it in the chat so that you can catch it there.
Because we're fucking it up.
Oh, look at this. Mob
Gachiakuta.
Psycho. My Hero 6. A case study of Vantis.
Wow, they got a nice they have a nice roster here. They've done some Full Metal Alchemist. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at the right thing.
Now, Studio Bones is... So they have a couple of different studios that work under Studio Bones. It looks like they have Studio A, B, C, D, E, F. And they've got Eureka 7, Metallic Rogue. Studio D did Bungo Stray Dogs and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Darker Than Black, Soul Eater, Oran High School Host Club. Studio B did Mob Psycho. Studio A did Carol and Tuesday, Wolf's Rain, Angelic Lair. So yeah, it looks like they got their hands on a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Surprisingly, though, no.
I'm very pleased with the couple episodes that I've got, and if I can get, like I said, if I get 7 more episodes similar to what I got, I will be ecstatic. And apparently there are 16 volumes, and so far, if I'm going by the covers, they've already covered up to volume 7. I don't know if all of these characters are introduced individually, like how many pages or whatnot, but looks like there could be Raiders, Trap, Successor. Okay, so it looks like there are 10 story arcs, and the 7 episodes have only covered 3. So yeah, it looks like there's more to come. Hopefully we get at least a good 2 seasons out of it, and I will be definitely looking forward to seeing more episodes of that. So now I'm going to be checking out To Be Hero X, and who knows, maybe we get Jeff in on To Be Hero X as well, and we can all come back and do a full review on it.
That would be awesome.
I'm gonna try to find it and check it out.
There we go. That's all we ask. No commitment necessary.
If nothing else, RG, I will be checking it out, so we will be able to do that. And you know what, Jeff? If you get through a couple episodes and it ain't for you, come back and tell us why.
Some boo. No, it's fine.
Okay, right, Ed. You know what? I tried, but that opening.
Why the black hero died in the...
Hey. If that happened, you tell me now. I ain't got to turn it on.
Just say the trouble. Let's see. trying to think, was there any other anime that I just needed to discuss, get off my chest, talk about? Kaiju number 8, Windbreaker. I have a love-hate relationship with Windbreaker. I'm on season 2, and I am like, even the first season was like, the fights are really dope, but the basis for the fights and the premise of the show, like, I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know what I'm watching half the time when I watch Windbreaker, because
it's like 1,000 people in the poster.
Yeah, it's 1,000 people in the show too.
1,000 people in the show.
It's so many people to get. There are probably like 4 or 5 main people, but it's like this high school, but I have yet to see a single teacher.
Yeah.
And the city. Okay, so like,
and their job is to be security guards for
you know city. What? Imagine if Southwest DeKalb. Get this. Imagine if all the students from Southwest DeKalb, the baddest of the bads, not in terms of like
behavior.
Not like not behavior, but like all the bad boys, like they the real ones, all the G's. Everybody from Southwest DeKalb, that's their turf. Southwest, anywhere around that area. So we gonna get some people from Towers. They're gonna be out in the area, and they might be causing trouble on the street. Well, we not having them up. Right, we not having that. So when the fight takes place, it's going to be this group versus this group.
Right.
Now, everybody knows, and for anybody, any alumni from Towers or any of the other schools that gets mentioned, just as an example.
They know. They know what it is.
Beaufort School is the school to beat. They're the ones who have like the reputation, like that's the school. And we have a new student, someone who moves to this town, and he wants to attend this school because he knows that that's the school to be if you want to be somebody. And he is probably, just from the looks of it, he was probably the baddest ass at his school. He was probably the man at his old school. I don't know why he left. We have yet to find that out. But here he is. He done checked himself into school. He lives by himself. It's like, wait, what?
Is this the Cruella DeVille character?
Yes.
Okay.
Now he shows up at the school, and of course he's thinking, what do you traditionally have to do? You have to go find the biggest, baddest mofo on the playground and knock him out. That's his mindset. Everybody just comes in and they want to be his friend, because on his way to the school, he happens to see somebody in town picking on somebody. He doesn't like that. He beats up this whole group of people. Some of the students from Beaufort happen to jump in, and they're like, hey, we appreciate you doing, taking care of the town for us while we were away. Hey, you should join us. He's like, no, I'm going to be the man around here, so I don't need your help. Shows up at school, and they're like, hey, you're the guy that helped us. He's like, wait, you go here? And all they're trying to do is make him realize that he has friends, that people like him. I don't know what the hell I'm watching. Can't stop watching it.
How you gonna say that? You just literally verbatim did the entire episode 1.
I just described the episode.
That is,
but
literally
it's a running from friendship is a weird character concept to sustain for multiple episodes. It's like eventually, like, okay, dude, like, you're accepted. Like, quit being, emo, and
he stays that way. He's got a big chip on his shoulder.
But
I would say so. Season 1. So
we don't even know why. We don't know what his past is.
Season
where
3.
His parents. Where are the teachers at?
They'll tell you in season 3. There are no teachers. We got to let that part go. We're not getting any adult supervision.
Let me just get
there's no cops.
Let me get a Peanuts character at a desk that I never see. Wah, 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 wah. Just something.
Not happening. Kids are getting beat. These are 17-year-olds getting beat to near death. And the only adults work at the hospital or at the coffee shop. So,
well, there's a whole thing in season 2 where they're outside of a nightclub
in a red light district where one of the students happens to.
happens to work.
Yeah,
It's a lot going on with this show, and I need answers, and I'm waiting for them to give me answers. And I don't feel like every time I watch an episode, I just got more questions.
But season 1, so this is the problem. Season 1 was only hands. Season
True.
1 was just straight only hands. Like
True.
the fight scenes were so there's no powers. They don't have powers. This is just straight yang 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 yang. And it's so well choreographed that it's like you got a Wang Chung dude, you got a
I was about to say
Wing Chun.
Wing Chun,
Man
yeah,
said Wang Chun.
Jeet Wing Chun. I mean, like
Wang
honestly,
Chung, whatever.
it is literally like if you take
Welcome
the best
to the China
of Jackie Chan, the best of Donnie Yen, the best of Jet Li, the best of Bruce Lee, the best of, like you could just go down the list, the best. And everybody has a particular style. And like you said, it's straight hands. Season 1, the fights were off the chain. And I enjoyed it. I loved it. Season 2, the fights have been fantastic as well.
Yeah, but
what are we doing with the story?
Yeah, the story is
even the way they ended season 1 was such a FU to the fans, because it was like you completed an arc, had an episode to tell us the arc was completed, and then did one more episode to start an arc and ended the season. Not even like, let's set up a cliffhanger. It was just like, let's get into a new arc. And that's it. And I'm like,
next season, we're going to talk about this. Bye.
It's like, you better come back with a season 2. So they wrote me into season 2 just because I got to know how this is going to play out.
Right.
That lasted for like 2 episodes. Like, wow, we wrapped that up pretty quick. It took us a whole season to do that last time.
Yeah.
But we got through it in 2 episodes this time.
Yeah.
What you got planned? Oh, that's what we got planned. All of this deposition on people and story and plot. None of it makes sense. Like I said, I got none but questions coming into season 2.
I don't feel comfortable discussing season 2 of Windbreakers. I just feel like I'm gonna get canceled.
I will absolutely say that it does take a strength of character, because it's not going to be for everybody. And there's some people who are just going to like get to season 2 and be like, oh yeah, nah, click.
And I wouldn't mind the delays on the action if the story was actually compelling enough. But the story is not really compelling enough, and then it doesn't lead to any actual real fights or any real stakes. So it's just kind of, you just really want me to like this person, don't you? Okay, I got you. We're gonna really take 10 fucking episodes of just should like this person. Okay, I got you.
And we could have fast forwarded that, and because if we had just gone right to the fight, I would have liked the character. I would have liked the character. I almost didn't like the character until the fight, and then I was like, okay, we're back. Yeah. So if the saving grace, and that just sounds bad, because if the saving grace for this show is only going to be the fights, what is the point of this show? That's why I'm confused. Because at least in anything else, I at least understand what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, what's happening. I am constantly confused watching Windbreakers. And it's at the point now where I only watch Windbreakers when I can like literally sit and dedicate my time to just watching it. Like, even though it's even though it comes in English, I don't watch it while I'm eating dinner. I don't watch it while I'm doing anything else.
So I gotta pay attention to the dialogue.
I have to pay attention to what is happening to see if there's anything that I can pull from it to make it make sense. But that's Windbreakers. It is,
I am not defending this season, so yeah.
I'm not even really defending the show. Like it's what I'm watching, but I'm really not even defending the show. And I do feel like there's other things I could be watching. That's why I picked up and watched all 7 episodes of Gachiakuta. And I feel like the fights in Gachiakuta were on par with Windbreaker. Plus they got powers. So,
okay.
So I may have to wait till Windbreakers finishes their season. Then I can just sit and binge it to get through it.
It's on the watch list, my friend. It is on the watch list.
So Any other recommendations? Anything else that you think needs to be watched? Stay current with Dan to Dan. I have been enjoying season 2 of Dan to Dan. And even though there's a whole nother tropey, I have to be stronger. It seems warranted in this show because these people were, I won't say surprised by their powers, but when the yokai, when they get possessed by the yokai and they end up with these abilities, these were not people who were supposed to have these abilities. So it makes sense that they need to learn how to use them. They've managed so far, but if there's an opportunity for them to, get good, it makes sense. So all the tropey, I have to be stronger to protect the people I care about, it makes sense here.
Gotcha. Nope, I can't say there's anything else other than probably Fire Force. Fire Force is a good show, but
I feel like Fire Force to me falls into the same category. I'm having the same issue with that I had with Black Clover. I have seen better anime since those two came out. So they're unfairly competing against stuff that they set the precedent for.
Okay.
I feel like if I had watched Fire Force when it came out, if I had watched Black Clover when it was new,
right,
I could be just as hype about the show as I am about some of the ones I'm watching now. Right. I would feel about Fire Force the way, well, maybe not Fire Force, but you know what I'm saying? Like Black Clover and Fire Force could have had the same impact as My Hero and Demon Slayer would have had at the time.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because
one of those you have to be there.
They came out beforehand, and everybody has good things to say about Fire Force, and it's definitely entertaining. Black Clover has definitely been entertaining, and there's plenty of episodes. So that's been fantastic. Anytime I just need to put something on, boom, I can get through 4 or 5 episodes during dinner or something like that, and it's great. But it's also like it feels dated in comparison to what's out now.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
So it's not fair to those shows. So I'm really making it a point not to make those comparisons, just because they're older.
Right.
They were, you know what I'm saying? Like if something came out in 2010 and it was fire then, I'm watching it for the first time in 2015. I'm, watching it in 2025. It's a 15-year-old anime.
Yeah.
Studios have come a long way in terms of their production and their quality, because that's why Demon Slayer has gotten the hype. Even if Demon Slayer is like the most basic and simple story ever, it looks phenomenal.
That is true.
And because it looks the way it looks, just the visuals do a lot of heavy lifting for Demon Slayer. It does a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of substance, it's pretty thin. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty thin. It's a very basic tale of revenge. That's it. And maybe we learned something along the way. But, you get around to the Mugen Train, you get around to the Entertainment District Arc, like just everything needs to look like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything needs to look like that. And until Fire Force can deliver something like that, that's still kind of the competition in my head, unintentional.
So
it's
the art, it's the art style, the level of the visuals that you're seeing. That's the issue for you? Is that what you're saying?
A large portion of it is going to be the visuals. But also just like it doesn't really seem to have the same substance that some of the newer anime have. Jujutsu Kaisen has a little bit more nuance because it has like this ridiculously strong character over here in Gojo. Some pretty high-end characters sprinkled about. We have some really compelling villains.
Yes.
There's a lot of good stuff in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes.
Fire Force is kind of like, let's hit every dot along the way. Everything you think is going to happen happens. Everything, it follows the formula to the T.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a tried and true formula. You know what I'm saying? This is Naruto in the fire department.
All right, I can dig that. I definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Also think one of the things that you mentioned too is that Fire Force does not have good villains at all.
No.
They're very, very generic, and then sometimes you don't even know
They
if
last
they're
an
villains
episode
not.
or two. They last an episode or two. There is no big bad yet.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things I definitely don't like about it, and make it a very hard watch. Like, I have to space it out pretty far, because it's just like I don't know what you're going for here. I don't know, who am I rooting for and who am I rooting against right now? Like, these things pop up randomly. Okay, everybody's strong enough to beat the baddies, right? The common foe, these, the ghost of whatever I forgot what they call them. I can't even remember what they call them. That reappear and infernos or something like that.
Yeah, the infernals.
Yeah, and so
once they get the little fire beetle in them or whatever, boom, then they combust. And
it's just not. It's okay. I got it. They're gonna be tough for some of y'all, and some of y'all they're not gonna be tough for. But I have no reason where is this going? So that's the only issue I really have with Fire Force. Now, there was one other thing I did want to recommend, and I gotta be honest. It is the artwork is incredible. So shouts out to Chinese anime, because China is fucking killing it right now.
Whoa.
What, we can't say that?
China anime? I'm just kidding.
That was epic. What a setup. What a setup. Yes. Chinese anime. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling any cartoon drawing that has to do with people having powers anime. If you draw it and they have a whole Asian sub-life, like that's their culture. Like when two characters meet each other, if they do this, it's anime. So, but China's been killing it. I'm sure a lot of people might know about Fog of the Five Elements.
Yeah, I've
that's
heard of that.
That's an absolute beautifully done anime. But there was one I watched called Super Cube. Super Cube.
Okay.
The only way I got to see this was downloading like some app that I'm pretty sure has probably put me on the watch list. Because it's definitely like straight from China. Like, so it's IQ. Are we advertising it? Can I advertise it? Hold on. IQIYI. IQIYI. Yes. And they also have a lot of Asian dramas on the show, on the app. So, but it was the only way to get Chinese that original Chinese anime. But Super Cube, absolute beautifully drawn show. They are killing it. They are absolutely killing it. So I'm recommend Super Cube to you. I barely remember what it was about because I watched it like a month and a half ago and watched a whole bunch of other stuff that took my brain away. But
so on that website now, and I'm trying to see. Oh, okay, they have a whole category for anime. Oh wow.
Yes. Jeff was like, should I be on that?
Saying, be careful. The peers gonna get y'all.
They no, I don't think I would be interested in that. Right? We got to find us the purists and get us.
Looking at it, it does appear that this is like it's a .com. It's a legitimate website. Scroll to the bottom and check the about information.
Oh no, it's a legitimate site. I think Jeff was talking about the fact that it is from Asia. It is from China, and I called it an anime. They call it an anime. Asian anime. They say Asian anime.
It says anime.
Asian anime and cartoons.
Shoujo, shonen, inspirational, adventure. There it is, under adventure. Super Cube, English version.
Yes. But you're gonna have to trick, my man. It is not for free.
I will look into that. And if I have to, like maybe sign up for 1 month or something, maybe I can go back and I can check out Fog of the Five Elements.
That's what I did. So,
make it worth the month.
There you go. Use the trial period correctly.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Plenty to watch, plenty that's out there. You've heard our discussion. You see how we feel about anime, what we like, what we don't like. And what do you think? Am I wrong about Fire Force? Am I just missing something? Who the hell can tell me about Windbreakers? What do I need to know about Windbreakers that I'm not catching already? Help me out
Please.
with that.
Please.
And if
We
you like
appreciate you
Super
joining us.
Crooks, talk about it more online for people like me who don't watch all
There you go.
the big ones.
An
There you
opportunity to engage. You like Super Crooks? Let us know. Put it in the comments. Click that QR code there, right there by RG, and he'll be happy to tell us about it, and we can talk about it. And Jeff will be right there to talk up Super Crooks with you. It's a great show, and we all enjoyed it. But hey, we appreciate you being here with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are GrownAGeeks for Jeffery JPNT17, the 36th Hokage, RG Cashmere. I'm LD Geek Sam, and we are out of here.